How you doing? I'm Brad Gilbert, and welcome to Sports School. We are working on winning baseline. Winning baseline tennis now is the modern game of tennis. When I was a kid, it was all about hit the ball nice, hit and recover. Now it's power tennis and controlled tennis. I'd like to think of the modern tennis player as Andre Agassi for a baseliner. He gave me this expression: the tennis court is like a mat. When the ball is hard and deep to you, you play safe and solid. When the ball is short, you really take your free swing. The three best baseliners now probably in the game: Andre Agassi, Roger Federer, who's the most versatile, and in the ladies, maybe Lindsay Davenport, maybe the most punishing women's baseliner I've ever seen. And remember, the quicker you move, the more options you got, the better chances you got to win. And don't forget that here on Sports School, you can use your own remote to stop, pause, rewind, and fast forward any of the training techniques that we are demonstrating. This means you are in total control. You can learn at your own pace. Now let's talk about settling in at the baseline. You know, Andre Agassi likes to hug the baseline. Rafael Nadal is all the way back here. And then you got the guy in the middle, Roger Federer. So you can play from anywhere, long as you're playing aggressively and move it. I always like to think of, the court as spots. Never aim for the line. I always like to give myself, so I can move my opponent 4 feet by 4 feet. I don't want to aim too close to the width or too close to the lane. If I can get 4 by 4, I know that I'm going to be moving my opponent. As soon as I hit and I move my opponent, I want to recover and get back just in case I get a short ball. Then I can take a good swing and finish the point. What you don't want to do is you're moving your opponent as you hit, oh, I hit a good one, and stare. Then you're not getting back to the middle, and then you're vulnerable to a short ball. So remember, when you hit a quality shot, hit and recover. Roger Federer is a genius at hitting and recovering. He's almost hitting and recovering in the same swing. So remember, for the club player, don't stare and recover to the next ball, and you're on your way to becoming a power baseliner. Why don't you hit me a couple of shots? See, I'm going for about 4 feet area where all of a sudden I can give myself some room, to have a chance to stay in the point. When you do about 6, 7 of those, remember, don't aim too close to the line. Try to get some width and length, and remember, as soon as you hit a good shot, don't stare at it, anticipate it's going to come back, and be ready for the short one to finish the point. Now you've settled in on the baseline, your next goal is to move your opponent. When you can move your opponent off the home base, this is where all of a sudden you've got your opponent in trouble. Basically, what you want to do is aim cross court, because that's going over the low part of the net, and you give yourself a margin of error. I also like to think that you want to get the ball anywhere from 3 to 4 feet over the net so you can get more length in the court. Most of us, when we try to hit the ball hard, we hit it a little flatter, we hit it low over the net, and it doesn't get very deep in the court, and then sometimes it doesn't get away from your opponent and leaves yourself vulnerable. I always think 3 times cross court, 1 time down the line. And try to avoid going that first ball down the line. That's more for the pros. For the club player, you think go solid cross court. It's like a left jab or a right jab in boxing. It's the safe, solid shot, and you want to get your opponent moving just slightly one way, so all of a sudden the next time you can get him slightly going the other way. Hopefully you can induce a short one. Here, why don't you hit me a couple? And technique is so big on this. You want to have a nice, clean swing. Using that, see, I use the left hand. See me, I like to hit the forehand. Nice, clean swing. All right, give me one backhand. See if I can hit a good backhand. Step in. So the key on those shots, remember, take about a 4x4 area. Don't aim too close to the sideline, not too close to the baseline. Give yourself maybe a little check mark on the court. 4 feet by 4 feet. That's plenty of room to move a club player to have the open ball to finish it. You've done all the hard work. You've settled in on the baseline. You've moved your opponent. Now the easy one, the finisher. This is the shot. You've set up everything to winning the point. And what you want to do is go to the ball. Get the ball before it drops. Pete Sampras, the best I ever saw, as soon as he saw the ball hanging, he would sprint forward, good mechanics, and finish the shot, not take it for granted. A lot of us like to do it on the forehand side. A lot of the people that have good two-handed backhands also like to do it with the backhand. But this is one shot I call a lot of us get the big eyes. We just take it for granted. We get up there and we get sloppy, and we kind of take a baseball swing at it and we miss it. Remember, it's an easy shot, but you got to have solid mechanics. You're closer to the net, so all of a sudden if you get closer to the net, maybe you need to put a little bit of spin on the ball. You can't just go up and kill it. And remember, if you catch it too low, you didn't get there soon enough. So as soon as you see it hanging, get sprinting forward, hit it, and execute. All right, Yaz, hit me a couple here. This is my money shot. And remember, don't aim for the line. You're already in good position to win the point. Give yourself at least 3 feet of margin of error. And you know what? Don't hit to the same side every time. If you hit to the same side every time, your opponent will know that you go every time. So try to mix it up a little bit. One more. Pretty good, 3 for 3. Remember on this, no big eyes, don't take the shot for granted, and for the club player, give yourself at least 3 feet of margin of error, and you'll be in great shape for finishing the point. For you more advanced players out there, at least a 4-5 to a 5-0 level are top junior players. This is a shot that's really crept in the game the last 15 years. You see a lot of the Spanish guys, Rafael Nadal, now maybe the best at it, the run-around forehand winner, where you want to really step around, get there as soon as you can, good mechanics, and really explode on the shot. Remember when you're hitting the run-around forehand, if you're all the way over by the doubles alley, look how much court you're giving up. You better go for the shot. What the one thing you don't want to do is run around the forehand and push it. Because then all of a sudden you leave yourself vulnerable for anything fat over there. So that's why you see guys like Nadal, when they run around their backhand, they're absolutely bone-crushing it because they feel confident they're going to make it, but if they're not, they're going for it. And a lot of guys prefer to go inside out. That's over, you know, it would be like your backhand cross-court. That's why it's an inside-out forehand, because that actually buys yourself time to get back into court if you hit a good one. And remember, if you do hit the good one, be ready, because you'll probably get a short one. You'll have your opponent surprised. And why don't you hit me a couple here? And then you want to back over to the middle. Boom. The key to that shot, getting over there quickly, recovering, and hitting that ball hard. Because if you don't hit it hard, you leave yourself vulnerable. A lot of real estate over there to cover. So remember, never aim for the line. I always like to give myself 3 to 4 feet over the net, and I can move my opponent 4 feet by 4 feet. When you hit a quality shot, hit and recover. Just in case I get a short ball, then I can take a good swing and finish the point.